So today we're going to talk about the story of the father and the two brothers from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verse 11 through 32. You know, Jesus, he talked in parables to all of his people that he went out and talked to. And parable is a story. So he told this story. There once was a man who had two sons. The younger brother greedily demanded his inheritance, turned his back on his family, and left them for a faraway country. He wasted all the money he took from his family. Soon, he became needy and hungry, even though he felt ashamed. He decided to return home, hoping his father might welcome him back. When his father saw him, he was filled with compassion. He ran out to his son and threw his arms around him. He was so happy that he was alive. The father got a big dinner together, the best food and drinks, thanks for his son's safe return. Meanwhile, the older brother came in from the fields, so tired from working. And when he heard the music and the dancing going on, he became very angry and refused to go in. His father went to the older brother to try and persuade him to come in. But he said, "I've listened to you and worked hard for you all these years. And you've never given me a party. My brother comes home after wasting all of his money. You throw him a huge party." His father said to him, "Son, I love you. You know what is mine is yours. But people matter more than possessions. We thought we lost your brother from our family, but he's home. Come to the table and celebrate with us." When we listen to a story like that, or any story for that matter, we learn so much from the feelings of the people involved in the story. This is one way that we learn compassion. We see, we listen, we recognize what people are feeling, and this helps us to feel their joy and their hurt with them. Sometimes it requires a bit of our imagination because the story might not tell us directly what the people are feeling. So like, for example, we might focus on the younger brother and the father, but the older brother too has something to show us. Compassion helps us to see how every human being is important and loved by God. So after listening to that story, if you'd like, there's a script in the stuff that I gave to your parents where you can act it out together, and someone could be the father, someone could be the younger brother and the older brother, and just have fun with it at your house, or those little puppets that I sent home with. To help us remember this story, if you've noticed behind me, there's some little drawings right here. Also in your packet, there's a little drawing, says, "At the table," with a father and son embracing and the other son as well. Let's color that together, and then you could hang it up. I'll send some instructions, but like I found like a cool twig out in the yard, and I hung it up with some string. I've sent some string and some stuff home in your packets. You could decorate it however you want and hang it up in your house. So to help remind us of everything that we're learning this week. And there's going to be one for each lesson this week. So when we gather again at 2 o'clock to talk to each other face to face, we're going to talk about a few things. So here are some questions to ponder about our story. So when we gather today at 2 o'clock, we'll discuss it. So in this picture that you're going to color, what did the father see? Did you see what the father saw? How about the younger brother? What about the older brother? What feelings did you feel when you heard this story? Could you see yourself in the story? Who shows compassion? Who receives compassion? So we're going to imagine together, do you think the older brother ever came to the party? And if he did, do you think he sat down at the table? Do you think he sat down with his brother and his father? When you sit at the dinner table, who sit next to you? Do you have a favorite spot? Does a dog sit at your feet or a cat? How do you welcome others when someone's had a hard day and doesn't want to sit at the table? Do you have a sibling that's like, I'll sit on the couch and watch TV? Or maybe an older teenage brother or sister that wants to eat in their bedroom and not talk to anybody? How might you welcome them to sit at the table with you? There's no right or wrong answer. So take your time and think about that while you're coloring your picture. And we'll talk about it again at 2 o'clock. So once you hang up your picture that you've colored on your stick or your dowel rod or whatever you would like to do, hopefully when you have that sitting in your house and you look at it, you'll remember that compassion is seeing and welcoming.